Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I'm your host, Ringo. Back again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. What I want to talk about is day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Now, before we begin, let me just make this very clear that we're not like these other YouTube channels that are going live and all they're showing you is a camera angle of a court, which is just a waste of your time. That's not content. What we're going to talk about is just have a chat. That's pretty much it. So let's just get into it. You know, a lot of people are going live as if though they got some sort of information to share regarding the case. But the thing is, it's not open to the public. So everybody that's going live regarding the P. Diddy trial don't have access to nothing. So you're basically wasting your time. Like, I travel around YouTube just kind of looking around, and I'll see 3,000 people in a live chat, 4,000 people in a live chat. But there is no activity because the person who's running the live stream is just replaying a camera angle pointed at a courtroom or a court building. You're not going to get anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some information that pretty much was revealed during day 1, because it is said that Cassie supposed to take the stand to talk about the freak-offs. Now, on day 1, you know, they pretty much brought out some information regarding the freak-offs and how Cassie had to keep her mouth open while a male prostitute proceeded to urinate in her mouth. And this was a part of the sick pleasures and fetishes of P. Diddy. He liked to watch Cassie gargle urine. And let me read a little bit of this from TMZ. It talks about how Diddy trial highlights golden showers, freak-offs, bribes, first day of testimony highlights. And it goes on and it says the first day of witness testimony in Diddy's sex trafficking trial is in the books, and TMZ is recapping all of the notable moments from a busy day in court. It goes on and says after the full jury pool for the federal criminal trial was selected Monday morning, 12 jurors and 6 alternates, the prosecution came out swinging in their opening statements, claiming Diddy made a sex worker urinate in Cassie's mouth during a freak-off sex party. So now, just by that point alone, it's not looking good for Diddy. As I said in my previous videos where we was giving you some updates, Diddy should have taken the plea deal. We talked about that, and we really believe that he should have taken the plea deal, served some time, and then go about his business. But instead, he wanted to go to trial, not realizing that he's battling the feds. And they got like a 97, 98 conviction rate. Like, you're not going to win. It don't make no sense you try to battle the feds, because they got all the intel, all the information, and you're not going to win. But for whatever reason, Diddy believes that he got this one, that he's going to be able to get out of it, you know. And, you know, his family pretty much try to show some support, his kids. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Money is not going to buy him out of this one. You know, I already told you 1,000 times that Diddy is going to serve life in prison. And all of this is just one big distraction. Like, the whole Diddy trial is a distraction. Somebody might be like, distraction from what? A distraction from reality. Because there's a lot more things going on around us that we're not paying attention to. Instead, we're focused on something that we really have no access to. Like, none of us are actually in the courtroom to witness anything. It's just like I said in my opening statements. A lot of YouTubers, even news media outlets, are going live right now talking about Diddy trial day 2, and they all got camera angles pointing towards the building. And that's all you're watching. I mean, don't you feel dumb sitting there watching a live stream where somebody is making you believe that you're about to see inside the courtroom and all you see is the outside of a building with cameras? You're not seeing nothing. Do you understand? It's not open to the public. The only time we get any real information is after they get out of court and the media present us with some information. So anybody that you see that goes live as of though they're giving you, coverage on exactly what's going on, right? It's very slim to none that that's going to happen, because certain things is just kept under wraps. Like what we do know based on some information again from TMZ is that they were questioning an attorney and they were asking him about Cassie, and they were talking about I guess she's pregnant or something along those lines, or how she's doing. Is she up for it? And he was like, yeah, she's strong. She's ready. I guess she's ready to testify. And based on all the rumors and the information, it appears as if though she would be testifying today. So hopefully later on in the day, we might get some sort of updates regarding that situation. But what I don't want to do is waste your time filming or viewing some damn building when you're never going to see anything. And it's just annoying when I see stuff like that. I mean, I literally checked YouTube to see what's going on, what's the scoop. And it's like 100 channels going live and they're all showing you the same thing. And this is why it is just so damn boring when you try to look at content, because it's like everybody's doing the same thing and it's just so damn boring. It's like, what the heck is going on with everybody? It's like everybody's desperate to get the story. And the thing is, nobody's at the courtroom inside the courtroom. You understand? Because you can't leak the information unless it's aired to the public, So that's why when we do this content, we just try to talk to you and share our commentary and make something fresh, something unique, do something different, because everybody's doing the same thing, the exact same thing. It's annoying to witness. I don't know how it looks on a viewer standpoint, but as a content creator, when I see everybody's doing the same thing, I mean, it is depressing. It's like, come on, man. Could you do something different? It's like, what's the point? I seen one guy, he's live, and people in his comments are telling him, bro, why are you wasting our time? Like, you're showing us a courtroom. There's nothing happening. Why are we even here? And the guy is not even talking about nothing. He's not making no sense. He's not making no points. It's like he's just wasting everybody's time. And when you really think about it as a viewer, there gotta comes a point where you look at the situation and you realize, wait a minute, this guy just went live to point at a courtroom to make it look like something's happening in order to get the clicks and the views. Now, I understand this is YouTube. Everybody wants to have people viewing them. But there comes a time when you got to realize when you're just wasting everybody's time. That's why I don't resort to doing stuff like that. If I'm going to talk about anything, it's just having a conversation. You might be driving on the road. You might be on your way to work. You might be coming home from work. You might be doing some shopping. And for whatever reason, a nice little conversation while you're on the road, it wouldn't hurt anybody, because we're just having a conversation about the Diddy trial. And I think that when I do it that way, the viewer understands that I'm not selling them a lie, and they're more inclined to listen, because why? I'm not selling them hopes and dreams. So now if we listen or read a little bit more information from TMZ regarding the situation, it says that the feds allege Diddy forced Cassie and another woman to participate in freak-offs with male sex workers. Now, we covered this in older videos, and it goes on and it says, and they also claim Diddy got violent with the women and sexually assaulted his former assistant. Diddy's defense argued that the sex was totally consensual and the relationships were voluntary and beneficial for the women. It goes on and says, telling jurors not to judge him for his sexual preferences. So when you think about this, the jurors are already persuaded that Diddy is a sexual deviant. He abused women, and they came out swinging. The defense pretty much came out swinging on Diddy by presenting the Cassie situation by literally saying that she had to literally be forced to take urine in her mouth. Now, we don't know like how long this abuse was going on or the magnitude of the abuse, but at the end of the day, if you're being forced to have a male prostitute urinate in your mouth, that's disgusting. It's sick, and it went against her will. So what that's established is that Diddy is a violent person. And this is not just a sexual preference. This is a sick man. This is a man that abused women. So it's not looking good for him. And then on top of that, they got the beating that Cassie endured at the hotel. Diddy should have took the plea deal. He would have served time. He would eventually end up going home. His millions would have been there waiting for him. But in his arrogance, this is what happens when you're rich. This is what happens when you got a lot of money. You just don't believe you can go and spend years and years in prison. In his mind, it can't happen. But the truth is, Diddy, this is bigger than the case that is going on. This is why I'm telling you that everything that's going on with the Diddy trial is a distraction of something even bigger that Diddy was involved in. You see, the truth be told, Diddy stepped on a lot of toes, and the people that are at the top, the big willies, the movers and the shakers, Diddy crossed the line. And when he crossed that line, they came after him the same way they came after everybody else in the past. Because in Hollywood, this type of stuff is normalized. It is normal for all of these guys to get down the way they get down. That's what rich men do. You know what I mean? If you think rich men have, basic normal relationships, think again. Men that are rich, men that are wealthy, have women come into their residence in droves, and these men would have their way with women. We're not talking about some basic dating. You get with a woman, you romance her, not when you're rich, not when you're filthy rich, not when you got money coming in all which ways. We're talking about men that are able to just get with a woman, tell her, take off her clothes, bust a nut in her face, pop whatever he want to do, and he just throw her around and slap her around. We're talking about men that just don't care. This is normally what's happening when you are filthy rich. These kind of men believe they own women and they can control and dominate. And not only women, but they feel they could do this to men as well because of how powerful they are. You understand? So when you think about the level of abuse that Cassie endured, a lot of times we say stuff like, well, but she stood there, she stayed. But what you have to understand about abuse is a lot of women that are abused, the reason why they stay is because they're scared. They're scared and they're afraid for their life because of the kind of men that they were dealing with. It is also reported that Diddy had a particular rapper car blown up because of alleged rumors that he was messing around with his woman. So when you think about the sick behavior of these guys, when you think about the fact that they can just pay to have you unalived, it becomes very sinister and scary. So this is why she stayed with him. Most women that are abused stay with men out of fear. And fear is an emotion that can really wreak havoc in a person's life. So if Cassie takes the stand today and testify against Diddy, it is going to be very damaging to the case. It is going to be very damaging to his situation, and he's not going to go home free because nobody really expected Cassie to take the stand. So if it's reported later on, because it will come out, it's been rumored that Cassie will take the stand on today. And again, when these people come to the court, look, guys, I'm trying to do my commentary as best as I can because there's so much clickbait on YouTube and so many lies that it's saturated the algorithm, and it's just depressing because when you're an honest content creator who report on news and you talk about stories and you try to keep the people engaged, it's very difficult to do when it's saturated with fake news. And what I want the viewer to understand, if you were to just go do a simple YouTube search for Diddy trial live, you will see everybody is live, and what they're showing you is the image of a court building, and that's it. And you got all these people there, and there's nothing happening. Nothing. But they're all live. But they have nothing to say because they don't have the gift of gab. They don't have anything to talk about. They don't know how to engage people in conversations, and they make things boring. And this is what I saw this morning, and I'm like, damn. People were live before court even began. And I'm like, what is this? A race to see who can show people in front of a court building? Like, it's sick. So that's why when we do our content, we try to do it in a way where you're comfortable driving in your car, just possibly at work, just kind of chilling, and you got something to kind of get you through the day. You know, sometimes we might have these conversations and we talk about things that maybe cross your mind, you know? And it's like, okay, Cassie is allegedly pregnant and she's supposed to testify against Diddy. What exactly is going to be released in the court? Because remember, Diddy settled with Cassie regarding the case. So we would have thought that Cassie would not testify. We would have thought that if he paid her, there was some sort of deal made where she can't reveal X, Y, and Z. So is she really going to testify, or was that just a rumor? See, when we do our reporting and our updates, we don't focus on everything as facts. We try to present things in a way where the viewer walks away with the thought process of, well, thanks for giving us the information. It was very beneficial. It was something that was insightful. And if it is true that she is testifying against Diddy today, I'm pretty sure Diddy is going to be very uncomfortable because Cassie is the main one who know all his secrets. It's just like when you're dating someone and you're very intimate with them and you've been with them for a long time, they know deep secrets about you that nobody knows about. And sometimes if you have a breakup, a fallout, or whatever the case is, one of your greatest fears is that that very person is going to out you or at least reveal some secrets that you don't want nobody to know. And this is why Diddy is very, very concerned about Cassie. If there's anybody that Diddy is afraid of at this point in his life, it's Cassie. If Cassie get on the stand, it's already over because the jurors are going to side with her. And if she's pregnant, it makes it worse. Because here's the thing, and I'm not saying that if she's pregnant, it's a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing if a woman is giving birth and having children. What I'm saying is the image of a pregnant woman taking the stand to testify against an animal that abused her. It makes the jurors favor her even more. So it could be strategically planned that they were going to bring Cassie in while pregnant. Why? Because that's going to make the jurors favor her. It's going to make the jurors believe anything she have to say. Because think about it, a pregnant woman is testifying against Diddy and she's there tearing up, crying, being emotional, saying how she was forced to have men put their rods in her mouth and urinate while she had to gargle a hot urine. Think about how that looks in a courtroom. Think about that. It's going to bring back all the memories. It's going to bring back all the emotions, and it's going to make and move the jurors to favor her and whatever she say. And it's going to make Diddy look more evil and more wicked than he already appeared to be. So Again, this is one big humiliation ritual when you really think about it, but Diddy did this to himself. And the thing is, in Hollywood, all of these guys are into this type of stuff. It's not just Diddy, y'all. It's not just Diddy. We know about Diddy because he's being aired out. But if the truth be told, many people in Hollywood, the big willies, the millionaires, this is how they get down, man. And a lot of times, women participate in these freak-offs. They participate in this lifestyle because it opens doors and opportunities for them. And when things don't go their way, that is when they come out swinging, playing the victim, saying they were abused. We see this every single day, guys. Every single day, another guy is being sued. Another guy is being taken to the bank. Why? Because of a woman who they dealt with in the past. You see what I mean? So it's just something we have to consider, man. Let me look at a little bit more information regarding this. It says the first witness, and we're reading from TMZ. It says the first witness was a security guard from Los Angeles hotel where Diddy was seen on surveillance video beating Cassie. And he testified that Diddy tried to bribe him to keep quiet, though Diddy's defense countered that Diddy was only offering money because a vase was broken in the incident. So just that bit of info of the security guard from the Los Angeles hotel where Diddy was beating Cassie, brutally beating her. He testified against Diddy, you see? So they already bringing in witnesses. This is what I'm saying. When you're battling the feds already know they're going to win because they already got everybody. They're playing chess while you're playing checkers. Diddy tried to bribe the security guard so that he could get the footage. That's what this was about. But Diddy's defense claimed, well, he was only offering money because he broke a vase. Come on. Stop it. Why would Diddy want to give a security guard money for a vase that was broken? Does that make sense? No. A second witness was a male sex worker who says Diddy directed the freak-offs and masturbated while watching him have sex with Cassie, who paid for his services. He testified Diddy told him to pee in Cassie's mouth. Says Diddy once got upset by a lack of baby oil being used. His testimony will continue tomorrow, and Cassie is expected to take the stand as the trial moves forward. So when we have in our video title that Cassie is to take the stand, ladies and gentlemen, that's not clickbait, because you know a lot of times people accuse me of clickbait and all sorts of other lies. We don't do that over here. We tell you the truth and we bring out the receipts and we show you everything to substantiate our points. So let me put this receipt on the screen so that we all are up to date on what's going on, right? So now, if you look at this, this is directly from TMZ. Directly from TMZ. And it says the second witness was a male sex worker who said Diddy directed the freak-offs and masturbated while watching him have sex with Cassie. So basically what happened at the freak-offs was Diddy would sit on a couch, right? And he would masturbate. He would beat his meat while watching another man go to town on Cassie. So Cassie was basically being raped by sex workers. And this was something that went on and on. And she had to endure this type of brutality, this type of sexual abuse for a long time. Ain't no telling how many times Diddy allowed men to bust nuts on her face, pee in her mouth, violate her sexually in various ways to see her moan and groan. And he got pleasure from this. This is how sick Diddy is. This is how sick this animal is, and how women was being abused. And again, a lot of you might say, but she stood there in his life. She stayed, Ringo. So she was a part of it. You can't really say that, guys. When you study history and you study women that are abused, they live in fear. They live in great fear of their life. Diddy had the power to ruin this woman's life to the point where she'll never make money in the industry, to the point where she'll never have success. This woman went from an artist to being a slave for Diddy. And this is what he did, guys. You know what I mean? So it goes on and it says that Diddy directed the freak-offs, masturbated while watching him have sex with Cassie, who paid for his services. He testified Diddy told him to pee in Cassie's mouth. And Diddy says Diddy once got upset by a lack of baby oil being used. So the baby oil was being poured all over Cassie's body. You get what I'm saying? Poured all over her face. So basically she couldn't see because the baby oil was all in her eyes. And Diddy would say, "Open your mouth, B. Open your damn mouth. Bro, pee in her mouth, bro. Let me see that thing. Yeah, just like that." Think about how sick this man was. Think about it. You know what I mean? It says his testimony. Now watch this. It says his testimony will continue tomorrow, which is today. And Cassie is expected to take the stand as the trial moves forward. So that's pretty much what's going on. Now, does that mean she's going to take the stand today? I don't know. I'm not in the courtroom, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. You understand? All I can report on is what is put out there. That's all we can do, you know? Again, we're not like these YouTube channels that have been clickbaiting you all morning. Some of you that are probably now joining the show, you probably came from these other platforms that were clickbaiting you by showing you a court building. Put a 1 in the chat if you are coming from a platform that is live right now that is just showing you the outside of a brown beige court building. Put a 1 in the chat if you just came from those platforms where they're not really saying anything. They're not really showing you anything. They're not really talking about nothing. You know what I mean? But this is what they do. And it's sick. I don't do that type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You're busy people. Some of you are on your job. Some of you are driving your car. You don't got time for that. That's why I like to just have the conversation, talk about things regarding the case, and hopefully get you through your day. You know, and this is pretty much what we do over here. And we try to present our information so that it is factual, so that it is in line with the story, because I'm not in the courtroom. I'm not in the courtroom, and the Diddy trial is not a public show. It's not. But what content creators are trying to do is maximize their profits by going live to deceive you, the viewer, into believing that they got some inside information. There is no inside information. Everything that's going on in court right now is kept tucked away. And the only time we get info is after court has been dealt with. And then we might get some news on TMZ from local news stations. We might get a few things. It is what it is, man. You know? So again, what we know so far is that it's not looking good for Diddy. It is not looking good for Diddy right now. Because as soon as they started the trial, they brought up Cassie. They brought up Cassie. And remember, when we did videos talking about the jurors, they want jurors that are not knowledgeable about the situation with Diddy. They want it to be a fair, they want it to be fair. But the truth is, everybody know about the Diddy case. If you live on this planet, you know about what Diddy did. You know, so it's not looking good for him. He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison, guys. I just want to let y'all know that news. I know this for a fact that Diddy is spending the rest of his natural life behind bars. I know that because he's dealing with the feds. 97, 98% conviction rate. There is no way that he's going to go and walk free. You know, there's too many witnesses, too many people being abused, too many women been violated sexually. Think about how many STDs. Think about this, guys. Think about how many STDs Cassie received from various men that had sex with her while Diddy sat there masturbating. Because remember, Diddy allegedly liked men and women. We've seen this many times where we seen video clips of Diddy with Usher, and they're talking about, yeah, you know, we were fighting over the cereal box and we were in the bed together. What? That doesn't make any sense, guys. We saw videos on Drink Champs where you had your man Nori, you had your man Fabulous, you know what I mean, your man Jadakiss, and we saw Diddy pressing Fab on partying with him. He was like, nah, fam, you know what I'm saying? When we gonna party together? He meant when we gonna have sex. That's what y'all don't understand. When Diddy say party, he's talking about the freak-offs. He's talking about when you gonna come through so you could be a part of the freak-offs, bro. Because Diddy is attracted to men too, not just women. He like men. He like young men too. And this is something that a lot of people are now learning, because remember, it wasn't just women that came forward to talk about Diddy was abusing them. Also, men came forward. You know, if you go back to the video with Big Papa, remember the video? Big Papa, when he says, ask you what your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile, what numbers to dial, you gonna be here for a while. Remember that video? Well, the woman that was in that video was actually a transgender woman. Do your research, ladies and gentlemen. The woman in the Big Papa video was a transgender woman. It was a man, y'all. And Diddy orchestrated that. So while you had Biggie up on this transgendered woman, you had Busta Rhymes, you had all these other rappers all around this woman. Remember the scene in the video where she was at the urinal in the men's bathroom and the guys was like, what the hell is she doing in here? Because that was a man the whole time, y'all. That was a man. You see that? And a lot of y'all thought that, oh, Biggie was this and Biggie was that. No, Biggie was a part of the mess, y'all. Listen, man, when I tell you the rabbit hole goes deep, a lot of rappers play for the other team, y'all. I know y'all don't want to hear this, man. I know y'all believe that, nah, not Biggie, bro. Listen, Biggie, Pac, all these rappers, I'm telling you facts, y'all. All of these rappers were into men. They don't want to let you know this truth. They don't. But when you in that industry, if you're not playing for the other team in some sort of way, you're not going to get to the bag, bro. You're not. So what they do is they dress these guys up as gangsters. They dress them up as thugs. And we believe that these dudes are straight, strong men. But the whole time, they're into men too. Remember the photos that they did with Pac in the bathtub? Where they had Pac naked in the bathtub? Come on, y'all. I'm telling you facts, bro. Facts. Y'all remember what happened to your man, what's this guy, Raz B? Y'all remember Raz B, how they did him in, where all the men in the industry was taking turns, passing him around? Y'all remember when Raz B was damn near crashing out online many years back in the early 2000s? Y'all remember when Raz B was crashing out and he was like, yo, man, they've been passing me around in the industry, everybody having sex with me. And people thought he was crazy. And you remember they made him apologize to make him look like he was crazy. He wasn't crazy, y'all. The man was getting violated, bro. They were turning him out left and right in the industry. All of those executives and producers was having sex with him, bro. They got Tevin Campbell, they got Usher, they got all of these guys already, man. If y'all believe that all these R&B guys that be singing about women are really into women, think again. All of these guys are into men. You understand? That's the industry, y'all. You know, that's how the industry get down. Y'all remember that actor that I talked about the other day that was at an award situation? I forgot his name. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. And he said that one of the producers came up to him and grabbed his balls and squeezed it and was laughing and giggling. And he did this in front of his wife. This is how it is in Hollywood. This is how it is in the music industry. Men are normally always interacting with men. And if you get into the industry, basically you gotta bend over as a man. You gotta take wood. Yeah, it was Terry Crews. Okay, appreciate it. They did that to Terry Crews, y'all. And they got Justin Bieber at Caramel Kimmy Kim. Yes, they got Justin Bieber. If you go back to the Diddy tapes, Diddy was in videos buying Bieber cars. Why would a grown man be hanging around a boy? Why? Why would a grown man, Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, be hanging around Bieber? Look how Bieber is now. Bieber got turned out, bro. Bieber got turned out by Diddy. You understand? This is a normal thing in Hollywood, guys. Normal. Diddy destroyed that young man's life to the point now he be walking around in the street in baggy clothes looking weird, looking crazy. You ever wonder how dudes will be multimillionaires and just be weird? Like, what the heck is wrong with these people? You got all this money and you're weird. Like, what happened to you? They got turned out, fam. They got turned out, you know? And it's just sad, bro. Absolutely sad, bro. If you think about it, man, if you look back at all the R&B singers from back in the day, and I'm talking about the males, if you go back and look at them, most of these guys have all been turned out some way, somehow. Because you don't hear about them being with women. You don't. None of these guys are married today. They all been destroyed. They all been taken advantage of from their youth when they got into the record business. And it's just sad. It is absolutely sad. It's so unfortunate. So when we look at Cassie, when we look at this situation, when we look at the Diddy trial, these are just the results of all his seeds that were planted. Seeds of evil, seeds of manipulation, seeds of raping women. And it all comes out. And, you know, his son may end up getting caught up in this mess because they're not innocent. None of these people are innocent. You know, like father, like son, y'all. And this is the truth. And people don't like to hear it. You know, so we're going to keep you guys posted on what's going on later on once the court case, the court trial of day 2 has ended. And we're going to pretty much talk about any news that's coming in. We don't like to give you fake news. We don't like to waste your time. We believe that you good people are pretty busy and you have a lot on your plate already. And what I'm trying to change is what I see on social media with a lot of these content creators, man. They just oversaturate YouTube with a bunch of garbage, useless trash. I mean, they go live and there's really nothing to talk about. All they showing you is a building with a camera and they make you think like you're going to see the trial. You're not. The trial is inside the court and we don't got access to that. Right? So we're going to keep you posted with updates later on as they come in. I mean, they have websites that are up right now that it's giving you live feedback. Let me do a quick search to see what's going on. Maybe there's some information we could probably put out there. Let me see. Diddy trial live update. Just to kind of see what's going on, you know, because you never know. Probably some information that's out there that we could look at. So okay, let me click on this and see what's going on because it says Cassie is expected to testify. So let me see. Let me click on this. This was updated 2 minutes ago. It says Cassie Ventura expected to testify in Sean Combs' sex trafficking case. Okay, 2 minutes ago, Xavier Donaldson says one of Sean Combs' defense attorneys is trying to highlight discrepancies in what Daniel Phillip told police officers about Combs' alleged attack on Cassie Ventura at her apartment. Phillip said Monday that he saw Combs throw a liquor bottle at Ventura from across the living room before dragging her by her hair into the bedroom, where he overheard Ventura screaming and what sounded like slapping and punching. According to Phillip's testimony, Combs came out of the bedroom and asked, "Are you guys ready to continue?" suggesting they continue having sex. Donaldson pointed out that the police report said Combs had instead told Phillips to get the out. Phillips maintained he didn't recall telling police officers that. 4 minutes ago, the same person is sharing more info. So far, defense attorney Xavier Donaldson is doing a lot of rehashing of Daniels Phillips' testimony from Monday afternoon, meaning we're getting details about sexual positions, erectile dysfunction, and assault. This is all happening in front of Sean Combs' mother and children. Phillips has appeared very confident on the stand, frequently countering Donaldson's question. So based on what she's talking about, there was some issues with erectile dysfunction, assault, and all of this is being done in front of Diddy's mother. You know what I'm saying? As you see on the screen. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, man. Absolutely sick. 5 minutes ago, another woman says prosecution witness Daniel Phillips said on cross-examination that after Sean Combs attacked Cassie Ventura at a Gramercy apartment, she ran to him shaken and terrified. Phillips explained that he didn't immediately start having sex with Ventura after she was beaten by Combs, but that the encounter happened organically. So basically, this man was having sexual relations with Cassie. This is crazy. She was shaken uncontrollably, obviously afraid, and we started talking for a while before we end up kissing each other, Phillips said. So basically, this is one of the men that was violating Cassie against her will. She didn't really want to do none of this stuff. So she already got beaten by Diddy. She was beaten. So imagine a woman being beat, and then on top of that, she had to endure being violently penetrated and assaulted sexually by a man. This is crazy, man. But we're going to keep you posted, guys. There's a lot of information coming down the pipeline. You know, because what I'm reading here is on the Washington Post, just in case you want to tune in to that website. There's a lot of information that's coming in, and it is what it is, guys. So I'm going to pretty much wrap it up and kind of bring back some more info later on once some new updates come out, and we'll probably talk more about these updates that is on the Washington Post. And that's about it, guys. So hey, you have a blessed day. Hopefully everybody is good out there. Drive safe, wear your seatbelt, enjoy your day, and we'll catch you later on with more content. All right. But my final thoughts on the situation is that Diddy is a sick man. It is sad that Cassie was very, very shaken and really messed up after getting beat by Diddy, and then she was forced to have sex with another man against her will. So if all of this is coming out in the court today, because like I said, it was rumored that she's going to take the stand today. Everybody was pointing to Tuesday, you know, so I don't know. It could be Tuesday, it could be Wednesday, I don't know. But if it is said, it is going to be a bombshell of information that's going to be dropped, because a pregnant woman taking the stand to talk about abuse is going to be very damaging to Diddy. And the sad thing is his mom and his children is in court to witness the destruction of their father. So this is going to be really messy. So, hey, catch y'all later on, guys. Again, y'all take care. We'll catch you on the next one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Ringo TV Reactions, the #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, hands down. You already done know what it is. Peace and blessings. I'm out of here. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw. and uncut. I'm out. Peace.